Appreciate her calling us together for this special order for a very special person. This big paint picture of John Lewis was just put up here, "Rest in Power," it says. You can't see from the TV, but over here in the front row is a big bouquet of white flowers. It's in a place where John usually sat, in the front row of a section that many of the members of the Congressional Black Caucus held forth, conspired sometimes, plotted and made progress for the American people. It's appropriate that we have those flowers there where John sat for so many years. He was born into a garden. He loved to be in the garden. He loved to be with the chicks.
John Robert Lewis, Dr. King said, "Are you the boy from Troy?" He loved to tell that story. He loved to tell that he preached to the chickens, but his voices were heard by kings and queens. John Robert Lewis, a saint walking on earth.
John Lewis spent his life fighting injustice and racism. If it weren't for the bravery of John and men and women like him, many of us wouldn't be in this chamber today. And as a black man, I'm not sure I would have had the same rights as my fellow countrymen.
On June 12th of 2016, a lone gunman walked into the Pulse nightclub in Orlando, Florida, and opened fire with a semi-automatic rifle. That night, the shooter killed 49 people and injured 53 others. At the time, it was the largest mass shooting in American history. The Pulse nightclub is in my district, but I was not in Congress at the time. But when I saw the members of Congress taken to the floor and holding a sit-in, I was not surprised that the person leading the way was Representative John Lewis. To him, the victims were a part of the big family John Lewis often spoke about.
John Lewis knew that it was necessary to fight the sins of this country, but he understood also to fight those in a nonviolent way. And I just had the deepest respect for John Lewis and am honored to have considered him a dear friend. And I just want to thank all my colleagues this evening for joining in this time to honor such a great man and an icon, obviously, particularly in the civil rights movement. But my wife, Dee Dee, and I continue to pray for the Lewis family.